Hey Sammy, what's going on? Good morning. How are you?
What's up, Rob? Good morning, man. I'm doing good. I'm processing. I'm sitting and I'm thinking about everything I did. I'm great, man. I'm
Good.
good.
Well, let's talk about it. I see you got the whiteboard behind you. Is that Survivor talk or is that something else you're working on?
Yeah, so I just watched Breaking Bad, and since the $1 million I couldn't win it by playing Survivor, I figured this is a pretty good way. It's actually a formula for a new product I'm working on. So
Okay. Oh
it's gonna hit
no.
the streets pretty soon.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay. All right. Well, Sammy, first off, I thought you were super fun to watch on the show. There seemed like there was a point in the post merge where everything was going your way. Everybody is working with you. You're seemingly getting what you want all through the whole first part of the merge. What went wrong from your opinion? Where did it start to go south?
Yeah. So really, where it started to go south for me was when I got back from the James vote, and my damage control to that point was really good, but it had just been off. It had just been off that time. I didn't notify Jesse as a threat. I didn't see that he was kind of putting inklings in people's heads, and so I actually thought I played the middle of this game very well until we got to eight, and then I kind of was doing my own unraveling a little bit. I think in this game, you would know, Rob, playing in this middle is so dangerous, and you
Yeah.
have to at some point pick a side. And I wasn't ready to pick a side. I wanted everybody's relationships for the jury. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to be like, well, Sammy tried to keep me in the game, and so I that was my undoing. And on top of that, I stopped giving attention to relationships that were super important in this game, right? Um, Gabler, I kind of stopped checking in with him as much. I kind of was like, listen, brother, listen, dude, write what I tell you, and we're gonna be just fine, man. Like we're just gonna be fine. And like I remember on the Carla, I'm like, listen, bro, it's Carla. Like let's rock and roll, man. Let's do it. And he's kind of like, well, why? Like he doesn't have a why. Jesse and Cody gave him a why. Same thing with Cassidy. Me and Cassidy had built a strong relationship, and I just burned the bridge. I didn't listen to her. I stopped listening to her because I was like, listen, dude, Cass is not playing the kind of game that I want to play. I can't go that way. I can't go the same way. I don't want to like lay low. I want to like be up here, but have people think that I'm right here. And then with Carla, obviously, that was like the biggest one. Like I just totally just blew that whole thing up when I had a really good ally there with trust. And so um, I think where it went wrong for me was my damage control got sloppy, my game got a little bit sloppy, and my managing of relationships got sloppier.
Yeah, you brought up Carla. I would love to know a little bit more about when we saw on the James vote. You said that in confessional that Carla, that was like the most important person to you. And then by the next vote, you were willing to get rid of Carla. So what changed after James went home?
Yeah, so at that point, I was still trying to convince Carla, like, can we do this? Like, can we please do this? Like, I kept putting in her head throughout the day, like, come on, like let's do James, let's do it. And it wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? And this is actually something that I don't like when people talk about, oh, this is what you didn't see. This is the one thing I'm gonna say is I knew that was gonna work because what I told Carla was like, listen, James said he's gonna use his knowledge of power and he's gonna take your idol. He's gonna take your idol, so you have to vote him out, or otherwise he's gonna take your idol. And I timed it so that it was like right before we went to tribals. So Carla was like, what? Like, what do I like? And so, yeah, I at that when we were still at that tribal, that meant a lot to me. And even after that vote, I didn't want it to be Carla. I was targeting Cass first. We could kind of chop Carla's legs a little bit, but not go after Carla specifically. And then once Cass won immunity, and I was proud of her for that. I was so proud of her for that. I don't know if that made, but when she
Mhm.
won immunity, I remember sitting there with Jesse, and I was like, this guy doesn't know what I'm doing. He has no idea what I'm doing in this game. And then I didn't want to vote off Noel because I was like, Noel is somebody that none of us want to sit next to her. So let's just take her to six. And that didn't work out. And so with Carla, I had a really that was kind of the explanation. What that was after that vote, I knew how much she trusted me. And my theme of this game was, oh, if people are trusting me a little bit more, then that's when I can kind of cut them loose.
Okay. At the tribal council from last night, you seemed very convinced that you were going to be the person who was going to go home, even though people were telling you were going to be safe, that you played your shot in the dark. Why were you so certain that it was going to be you at that tribal council?
So like, yeah, I had discussions that day. Like I was like, yo, can you guys be honest with me? Can you be honest with me? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Obviously, everybody's like, no. You're good. You're good. You're good. And I talked to Cody and Gabler, and they're like, listen, if something goes south, we'll let you know. If something happens, we got you. We'll let you know. And then on my tribal, I'm tapping them. I'm like, whisper, like, yo, we good, bro? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is it gonna work out? And they're not looking at me. Gabler's like, he gives me like this weird thumbs up, and I'm like, dude, what does that mean? My game is crumbling here as Jeff is talking about the tide rising and lowering, and I was enjoying that analogy. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was looking over, I was kind of like looking at people like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, just like, and Sammy, and whenever he says my name, I really want to hear what he's saying because I don't want to give like a foo-foo answer, like, yeah, this is that, and this, and so like I was like, Jeff, bro, listen, I'm playing my shot in the dark, man, because this
Yeah.
is just not working out. Like I had feelings because of I wasn't getting good vibes from the people around.
Yeah. And it was the right call. So that was a good shot in the dark play, certainly. And I want to ask you about the advantage that Cody found in the episode. And so, first off, what was your reaction to watching that back and seeing where the thing was and how many times you all walked past it?
I can believe it. I'm on the West Coast, so people are watching it before me, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" You walk right past it. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!" And so then I couldn't wait to watch on. That was genius. That was genius to put that thing right there because oh my gosh, like I could not believe that we all walked right past that thing. Especially, I needed that thing like
Yeah.
so bad, and we were all. I couldn't believe it. My reaction was, "Wow!" Like I am blind. I wear glasses. I had them on right there. I don't know what happened,
Okay.
bro.
Did anybody know Cody had found the thing after it was all over?
Yeah, I actually saw him find it when I was kind of a little bit of a corner away, and when he was like doing his like yeah this like when he was like dancing, I was like
Hmm.
in the corner like I was kind of like I'm trying to think of it. I don't know like I was just like
Yeah.
watching from the shadows, and I was just like, dang, bro.
Did he tell anybody what it was before you went to that challenge?
No, he did not. We found out at the challenge what the advantage was,
Hmm. Okay. Um,
and so yeah.
Okay. Going back to the story you told Carla about Cassidy, were you surprised that that seemed to start to take hold a little bit?
I kind of was because I felt like I said, I felt like at this point I burned my bridge. Like how they used to burn the rite of passage, the
Yeah.
shelters. I felt like that was me. I was like, I'm done, dude. Like I'm gonna fight my butt off, and I'm gonna try to be here at 6. But I have an uphill battle ahead of me. And so when I planted that seed in real time, I didn't know that that was working that way. But Carla was one of the only people in the game that decided after the day after Noah went home, that tried to give me a little bit of hope, that tried to talk to me a little bit, keep me in the game. Carla and Cody were the two people that I felt like, okay, they're trying to keep me in this game, like they're giving me some hope in this game. And I was definitely surprised that kind of worked a little bit to my advantage, and would have had Jesse not masterminded everything else to get me out that day.
I thought it was so interesting that we have these three guys from Baca in you and Owen and Gabler, and you're there at the final seven. And it seemed like that I was waiting for at some point for the three of you to kind of get back together, but it seemed like that never really happened. But you've worked with Owen on some of the other votes. Did you have a good working relationship with Owen?
I thought I did. I totally thought I did. And we did get together, and I was very I give Owen and Gabler a lot of props, a lot of credit for that day because those are like my guys. I'm like, those are the people that I really trust because I just burned all these other bridges. They trust me because they know what I've been doing this whole time, and they made me feel safe that day. And to answer your question with Owen, it looks like me and Gabler are like the pair that's there. But if we got Uad, if we got Matt Singh, like everything went down, it was gonna be me and Owen in my mind. In my
Mhm.
mind, it was going to be me and Owen. That was the guy that I really wanted to work with, to keep in the loop. And I did my best to keep him in the loop while still playing my game in the middle. And I can't blame Owen for turning his back on that, because that's just not really something that you want in an ally. You want people to know what's happening. I was disappointed to see him throw my name out to Cass. I was disappointed. I was like, dang, dude, like we were gunning, man. We were running and gunning, but I got nothing but respect for the work that they did that day to make me feel safe.
Okay. So, um, I know you're playing in the middle and you were working with everybody, but did you have in your mind a final three that you were hoping to try to get to the end with?
Yeah. So once we got to 8, I was hoping it would be me, Gabler, and Owen. Um, However, I must be honest in saying, before the vote at 8, I was also fine with sitting next to Jesse or Cody, because Jesse, Jesse, for me at camp, it was like Jesse's not talking to anybody. He's not really trying to make bonds with anybody. That's obviously not true. He just saw what I was doing and didn't choose to reciprocate that with me. And with Cody, I was like, yo, man, once I'm gonna act like I'm living with this dude, living, LIVIN,
Yeah.
until we get to the end of this game. And then at that point, he's only watched a couple seasons. I can out talk him all day. And so I didn't want to sit next to Cass or Carla. I mean, those are like, I was like, dude, they'll sweep me, they'll destroy me in this game. And then, like, I didn't want to do that. And so at the point of 8, Gabler and Owen were like, let's do it, Baca, let's do it.
Hmm. Did you realize when you were out there that Cody and Jesse were a tight pair?
I figured, you watch the way things work, and they work together, and it was always Jesse. I knew they were a tight pair. What I didn't know was how good they both were at the game.
Hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought they were a group that had to work in a pair. That wasn't true. Jesse was super astute in everything about this game. Cody was very aware and his strategy was like really good about kind of throwing you off by like getting a tattoo on his butt and talking about drinking the beers or whatever, but he's really playing to win this game. And so, listen, I know everybody's like, what are you guys doing? Like, how do you guys not see that? They were very good at
Yeah.
lowering their threat level.
Yeah, I've come to understand that. So thanks. I appreciate that. Sami, it was really fun to get to watch you on the show. I loved the energy and the chaos that you brought to the season. So thank you so much for that. All the best outside of Survivor. I know you got to run, but really it was fun to have you on the show.
Thanks, brother. All I can do is cause a little bit of chaos, and that's what I'm here for.
We loved it. Okay, Sami, take care. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Rob.